find the time
or the inclination to be two.
Do you think we could find a place
Without a confrontation,
can't be true?
Rich tea and sympathy untie the bonds of family.
Oh, it should be you and me,
But circumstance needs music.
and no, darling,
Do you think
we could find the time? John! John! Oh. This may come as a revelation to you, but the kitchen table is not for chucking piles of dirty clothes on. It's for the preparation and eating of food.
Anything. Burger will be fine.
John, you.
Oh, we're going to eat in the nude tonight. Great.
There are times, John, when I wonder why I brought you into this world.
I will pray to God to forgive you for that.
Well, look at him. It's hopeless.
Well, it could be worse. He could be playing it out loud, right?
Why, what's he playing?
Oh, his own music. The 6/6 in full swing.
That isn't a very Christian thing to say, Samantha.
It isn't very Christian music, Mum. Is there any herb tea?
Yeah, should be. Second cupboard from the left, top shelf. It's kind of you to play it so we can't hear it. It really is the most disgusting, cacophonous noise I've ever heard.
Thanks.
Well, that wasn't very charitable, Julia. You know what Bambi's mother said? If you can't find anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Mother, I am not a little girl.
I irritate you, don't I?
No, you don't irritate me, but I really can do without nuggets of advice from Bambi's mother.
I knew I irritated you. Well, I'm off anyway. I'm very worried about John.
Yes, aren't we all?
He was so good in the first session. I can't believe he can possibly be as good this evening.
You listen to him. You like his music.
I didn't know he played music. No, he's a streak player. He'll be hot for several frames and then he'll go off the boil.
Oh, John Parrott snooker, silly me.
I'll make some inquiries about sheltered accommodation. It'll be best.
Don't say it. Don't even think it, OK? Mum, there isn't any herb tea.
Then buy some.
Wicked. I shouldn't say it, but I have to. It is brilliant.
Oh, are you now available for normal conversation?
Yeah. Mum, I can't find any clean socks.
I hope the conversation won't be quite as normal as that.
Mum, I know you're a counsellor now, and it's great. I mean, we're all chuffed. None of us wants to see you frittering your life away on domestic chores. But how can I go out if I haven't got any clean socks?
Try washing some.
Well said, Mum.
That goes for you too, Samantha.
OK, I don't mind, right? But I can't start this week because Martin and I are up to our eyes because we've promised to collect for Self-Denial Week and we need cooperation, OK?
Well, I'm doing my bit to help. I'm denying you your herb tea.
Oh, the vertical hold's still not right. I've got endless parrots ascending to heaven.
Am I missing a nature film?
Did you phone the TV man, Julia?
No, didn't phone the TV man, didn't buy herb tea, didn't wash John's socks.
Look, we know becoming a counsellor is very important to you, dear, for some reason.
Yes, it is, Mum. It's extremely important to me. And George is extremely important to me. And there is no longer room in my life to accept total responsibility for every aspect of running this house and your lives. Take note, the selfish young. Take note, the selfish elderly. The selfish middle-aged are on the march.
Well, if George is so important to you, isn't it about time you invited him to dinner? And his family?
Including his father.
Well, it'd be rather rude to leave him at home on his own, wouldn't it? Oh, well, of course I'm keen to meet him. I'm getting a little frightened, Julia. I fancy a friendship with someone of my own age. Someone who can share my nostalgic memories. A little quiet companionship and gentle sympathy as I approach the twilight of my life.
That was disgusting. You should have videoed it.
Are you deliberately outrageous just to annoy me?
That's right.
Why?
Because you all assume I'm past it. Everyone else is at it. I'm not allowed to be.
Everyone?
Well, the girls? Don't tell me it's a quick peck on the cheek and good night.
Oh, don't. That's something I try not to think about.
You and Julia.
Dad, Julia and I are not at it.
Only 'cause the cops came. Told you that burglar alarm was no use. It's not supposed to go off when it rains. The bloody thing's knackered.
Please, don't change the subject.
That suits me. Let's get back to sex.
Why do you always outmaneuver me?
Because I'm too wily for you, George. Runs his own factory, can't run his own dad, annoys him.
Rubbish. As rubbish as that. Complete and utter and total rubbish. Runs his own factory, can't run his own dad, annoys him. Absolute rubbish is that.
Methinks he doth protest too much.
Oh.
I'm lonely and frustrated, George. When am I going to meet her mother?
Why do I doubt if that is the answer?
Let me be the judge of that. Let me meet her, you selfish bugger.
All right. All right, I'll fix up a dinner party for the two families.
Dad, I need some advice.
Oh.
Personal advice.
Oh, Lord. All right, fire away.
Well, I can't. Not in front of him.
Him? I'm not him, Tracy. I'm your grandpa, and I know a thing or two. And my answer is yes, you'd be much too easy on Justin. Do him good if you gave him a hard time.
Don't jump to conclusions, you one-track-minded old dustbin. Tracy wasn't thinking of anything like that.
Yes, I was. Well, that was exactly what... But how did you know?
Dad, I need some advice. Emotional advice. Oh.
Well, do you want to?
What?
Go and live with your spotty young man.
Dad, that wasn't it at all.
Yes, it was.
Karen?
How did you know?
Because he has no sex life, he spends all his time thinking about other people's sex lives.
Rubbish. It's absolute rubbish, is that? Utter and total rubbish.
Methinks he doth protest too much.
Anyway, Dad, come on, what's your advice for us then?
Oh, Lord. Oh, girls, I can't cope with your emotional problems.
I can. Don't do anything out of fear, girls. Don't be frightened of losing him. You've got a lot to offer the lads, even if you're not as pretty as Tracy.
Grandpa?
You've got the character. That sometimes counts far more.
Grandpa?
And you give Justin a hard time. He's a Burke. Probably end up a rich Burke, but he's still a Burke.
Grandpa's right. I'm going to break it off with him. But, Dad, did you get that dry cleaning?
Oh, damn, I forgot.
Oh, no, well, I need that dress.
Oh, got to look really nice with Justin if you're breaking it off.
Well, I have.
Do you remember to video the play, Dad?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, you promised. One of the lads in the office says there's loads of scenes with bonking.
Oh, you're pathetic.
He forgets everything now he's got this woman. It's awful.
Yeah, I needed that to cheer me up. I've had bad news and I'm really depressed.
What bad news?
Jenkins' groin's gone again.
Oh.
None of you care, do you? Not even you, Dad. Tracy's right, you're useless these days.
All right. I've tried to do my best as a single parent. I've tried to cope with your emotional problems, your sexual problems, and the dark shadow hanging over Jenkins' groin. Well, I can't cope any longer. I need time and space to lead my life. So please, all of you, try to think of me and my needs and my problems and not yours. All right?
Does she have her own teeth?
Hello?
You're 10 minutes late.
So are you?
I'm the boss and I've had a bad night.
So have I. And I did hope you might say how lovely to see you, or you look marvellous, or even hello, but not you 10 minutes late.
Sorry. In here.
What?
It's the cleaner's storeroom. They'll all have gone home by now. You do, incidentally.
What?
Look marvellous.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Better late than never. George, shall we be hiding in here like a couple of kids?
Where else can we conduct the little bit of business I have in mind?
What little bit of business?
This little bit of business. What do you think?
I think you're on the right lines.
So, you've had a bad night?
I'm accused of neglecting my familial duties. Frankly, when I have you, I can't raise much enthusiasm over dirty socks.
Oh, thank you. I think that's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to me. At least being a man, I'm not expected to do the socks. I get something far worse. Emotional crises.
I get the emotional crises and the socks. I'm glad to get to work for a bit of peace and quiet.
Me too. Julia,
My father is obsessed with your mother.
There's a fair bit of interest coming the other way.
I think we'll have to have a dinner where the two families meet.
Funny you should say
And
that.
there is absolutely no earthly reason why you should do it and not me, but I suspect it might be a slightly awkward occasion and you'll do it better.
You're getting more subtle in your chauvinism. All right, I'll explore dates.
Me too. Do you know, he even asked if she has her own teeth.
No.
Well, how would I know? I mean, does he think I'm going to say, hello, nice to meet you? Oh, and just to settle an argument for an old codger, do you have your own teeth? Does she, incidentally?
Oh, yeah.
Good, he'll be pleased.
Their meeting can't be a success, can it?
I shouldn't have thought so.
Do you think the cleaners get enough?
At it like rabbits, I should imagine.
Money. Do we pay them enough?
What?
I shouldn't like to have to get up as early as them every morning.
Julia, I don't care about the cleaners. I want you.
Yeah, I want a man who's handsome and strong and generous to cleaners.
Yes, well, we'll talk about it later. We can't do it in a cupboard.
We'll have a damn good try.
Julia.
Oh, George. There are places where I long to touch you.
Oh, dare I ask which places?
Your office, my office, the car park, restaurants.
Ah.
I just long to be with you. Brush your cheek with my hand, touch your chest with my arm.
Oh, I long to touch you, too. Rub my hand along your cheek and touch your... with my arm.
What I'm saying is, I want to bring it out into the open. I don't want to have to go on hiding my feelings.
Oh, me too. Me too, absolutely. I mean, not daring to touch each other in public, skulking in cupboards at our age, it's ridiculous. 4, 5, 6...
Fine.
Just doing an inventory.
One new broom needed, Mr. Rowe.
One new broom needed, noted, Mrs. Marygrove. Morning, Sally. I'm afraid I'm a bit...
Bit late. Why not, Mr. Rudd? You're the boss.
Well, yes, but I hate to take advantage. And actually, I've had rather a
Bad night. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Rudge.
Yes, and then on my way in, I was
Waylaid by an employee. There's no need to explain, Mr. Rudge.
Sally, it is true that I once told you that
The perfect secretary can read her boss's mind.
Absolutely. But I should have added that the perfect secretary, in her reading of her boss's mind, should endeavour not to make it appear that her boss's mind is...
entirely predictable. Oh, perish the thought, Mr. Rudge.
Yes, so perhaps it might be a good idea if you didn't
Always finish your sentences for you. Point taken.
Sally!
Sorry. It's a little difficult.
To abandon the habits of a lifetime, yes, I can quite imagine.
How is Mrs. Marygrove?
That's none of your business, Sally. I have no idea what you mean, anyway. Well, yes, of course I have. All right. All right, let's bring it out into the open. I have formed an attraction for Mrs. Marygrove, I admit it. Why do I say I admit it? Why shouldn't I, for heaven's sake? Sally, you and I have worked together happily for many years. I'm fond of you.
But you love her.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say I'm fond of you, but I cannot have my secretary making insinuations about my private life.
You love her.
Oh, this is intolerable. Sally, perhaps it would be better if you...
Move to another job in the firm? I can't do that, Mr. Rudge. I'd regard it as a humiliation.
Yeah, I can't have this, Sally. I'm sorry, but you leave me no alternative. I'm afraid you're...
Sacked? Well, we'll see about that, Mr. Rudge. I might just take my case up with
the relevant authority, which happens initially, if I'm not mistaken, to be my deputy personnel manager with special responsibility for women, Mrs.
Grove.
Oh,
Lord.
Come in. Oh, Mr. Pink, what an unexpected pleasure.
No. Unexpected, perhaps, but not a pleasure.
Oh, Lord.
You're new to biscuits, Mrs. Marygrove. I've given my best years to them. We like to think of ourselves as moderate men and women in biscuits.
Oh, well, I've never pictured the world of biscuits as a hotbed of extremism. The cream cracker strike of 27, the digestive riots of 38 doesn't sound right at all.
Please, don't mock me, Mrs. Marygrove. It's offensive to me. We're proud men in biscuits, Mrs. Marygrove. It's one of the few areas where Britain leads the world. From the rich tea to the fig roll, from the Bath Oliver to the hobnob, the British flair for invention has flowered. What is the rest of the world add up to, eh? The Bourbon and the Garibaldi. We're slow to anger, Mrs. Marygrove. But if our wrath is once aroused, beware of the British biscuit men.
What exactly is your point, Chris? Colin, Mr. Pink.
You lied to me, Mrs. Marygrove. You told me that there was no relationship, professional or personal, with George Rudge. You told me that you didn't believe in his confrontational style of management. Twice. Not once, but twice. I saw you colluding with him over secret papers. Once over an onion bhaji, and once over a crispy spring roll. Typical British managerial hypocrisy in ironically ethnic settings.
I did lie to you, Mr. Pink, and I'm sorry.
You what, Mrs. Marygrove?
I did lie to you, but let's get this quite clear. I do not believe in George Rudge's confrontational style of management. In fact, this afternoon I should be asking for more pay for the cleaners. But, those secret papers... Well, all right, let's get that out into the open. They were a ruse.
A ruse, Mrs. Marygrove?
Yes, Mr. Pink. To hide the fact that George Rudge and I are, well, for want of a better word, good friends.
Oh, Julia. Oh, Julia.
What is it, Mr. Pink?
I think you're beautiful. And I love everything you stand for. It's me you should be friends with, not him.
Oh, Lord.
Satisfactory morning.
Can't wait to get back to the peace and quiet of my family.
Just what I was thinking.
Oh, Lord. Come in. Oh, Sally. Do sit down.
Thank you.
To what do I owe this unexpected...
Pleasure. Oh, let's not pretend, shall we?
Well, I wasn't going to say that, actually. Well, I was, but I didn't mean...
Mean it, no.
George told me you had this...
Irritating habit? What else did he tell you?
Nothing. George is the soul of discretion, Sally.
There's no need to describe his character to me, Mrs. Marygrove. I've known him for 15 years. I think I can honestly say that in that time I've given him every possible satisfaction.
Well, he certainly didn't tell me that.
I didn't come here to listen to cheap innuendos.
I'm sorry, that was unworthy of me.
Really, you surprised me. Did he also tell you that I've been hopelessly in love with him for 15 years?
Certainly not. He had no idea you had till I pointed it out.
You pointed it out? Well, you've certainly done your bit, haven't you? For 15 years, I've done everything George Rudge asked me to.
But he never asked you to do the thing you really wanted him to.
No, he didn't. And the worst part about it all was that I, who am not really a pathetic little woman, Mrs. Marygrove, found myself acting out this cliché of repressed womanhood. The secretary hopelessly in love with her boss.
I'm sorry for what I said. In truth, I was embarrassed by the conversation, and I've no idea why you've come to see me.
Because you're deputy personnel manager with special responsibility for women. And I believe I've been wrongly sacked.
Sacked?
Sacked.
Why?
For making insinuations about you and him.
What insinuations?
I said, how is Mrs. Marygrove?
Just that?
He said, I'm very fond of you, but...
And you finished the sentence for him, as you do, yeah?
Yes, I said, but you love her.
Oh, what did he say?
He said I wasn't going to say that.
Well, well, surprise, surprise. He doesn't love me, he only desires me.
Only.
So, he just sacked you?
No, he did give me the opportunity to move somewhere else in the firm, but I felt that would be a humiliation after being the boss's secretary. I feel... I know it was pointless coming to you, but I have to take it through the proper channels if I'm to pursue it as I intend. And I feel my sacking was wrong.
Wrong is hardly the word I'd use.
No, I imagine not.
It's outrageous. It's disgraceful.
You mean you're on my side?
Well, of course.
Don't move, will you?
I beg your pardon?
I said, do you intend to stand there all day?
No, you didn't. You said, don't move, will you?
Well, then why did you say, I beg your pardon if you heard?
Because I couldn't believe me ears.
Oh, you couldn't believe your ears. Oh, dear, oh, Lord.
You'll find the books on manners, which I assume you're seeking, over there.
Oh, that's right. Make fun of me because you think you're better than what I am.
The books on grammar you'll find over there.
Oh, belt up. Arrogant old bat.
Julia, I really do feel that if you wish to speak to me urgently, you should...
I ought to come to your palace rather than expecting you to come to my hovel.
Well, I wouldn't say palace, and I certainly wouldn't say hovel. But yes, frankly, that is the way that...
things have always been done at Rudge Brothers.
You're doing it now. Am I utterly and completely...
Predictable? No, not all the time, darling.
Darling? Well, you certainly are predictable, are you? I thought I'd been brought here for a...
Bollocking?
reprimand.
No, listen, George, you have been brought here because I have to take up the case of Sally's sacking.
You what? Didn't she tell you why she's been sacked? She made insinuations about us.
She said, how is Mrs. Marygrove? Hardly a wicked insinuation.
No, what she meant was, did you get your end away last night?
George, that is a deeply insulting way of describing what didn't happen and won't ever happen if you describe it like that.
She said I loved you.
Untrue, obviously, but hardly a reason for dismissal. A dismissal which, incidentally, I'd have been very pleased to have been told about. Reinstate her, George.
You want me to climb down?
Don't take your cue from politicians. Admitting one's wrong is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Look, when I want to go to a lecture, I'll buy tickets, all right?
I expect you to reinstate her and apologise.
What? This is utterly and totally intolerable.
Good. At last you've said something I can agree with.
Oh, God. What are you doing here? Were you listening?
Well, I just
You're a
came
creep. You're a peeping Tom. You're sacked.
No, he's not.
Oh, yes, he is. This is my factory, and he's sacked.
It's my area of responsibility, and he isn't sacked.
It is not your area of responsibility. Your area of responsibility is women, and he is sacked.
It is my area of responsibility because Colin Pink's problem is a woman. In fact, it's me, so it's doubly my area of responsibility, and he isn't sacked.
I don't accept that argument, Mrs. Marygrove. This is my decision, and mine alone, and he is not sacked. You're not sacked, Pink. But you are warned as to your future conduct.
Oh, you're wonderful, Julia. Wonderful.
Thank you, Colin.
You're far too good to throw yourself away on Mr. Rudge.
Thank you, Colin.
Come out to dinner tonight.
I can't. I'm having dinner with Mr. Rudge.
Matching the shoes with a bag. Oh, that's a good one.
Will you give something for self-denial week, OK?
What?
Self-denial's good for you in a world where so many have so much and so many more have so little, right?
I'm not getting enough, love. I'll give it for you, Gleck, for not getting enough week.
Oh, come on. Giving makes you feel good.
Well, I'll deny myself that pleasure then for self-denial week. Good, eh? Too clever for you.
Brilliant. I'm stunned.
Anytime you get tired of self-denial, darling, you call in at the Pontefract Building Society. I can guarantee you one thing. The interest rate will be high, eh, lads?
Now, Sally, I have had a word with Mrs. Marygrove. I gather you took your case to her.
Yes, I did. She wasn't quite what I expected.
Yes. Yes, I found that too. Now, Mrs. Marygrove pleaded your case, and I listened very carefully, but this is, of course, my decision and my decision alone. And I have decided, on balance, to withdraw your dismissal.
Thank you.
And I would also like to
Apologise.
Yes,
Thank you. That can't have been easy for you to say.
it wasn't. Sally, things may not be... The situation is slightly... I've not been very... I just didn't realise that you... We must both... You're not finishing my sentences.
I thought you didn't like me to.
Well, I could have done with some help with those
particular sentences.
They're just the kind of sentences I don't think I can help you with.
Sally, sometimes you seem almost...
Deliberately perverse. I'm sorry, Mr. Rudge.
Well, shall we go on working together then?
I'd like to try, Mr. Rudge.
Oh, good. Good. We make a damn good team, don't we?
Oh, yes. We make a damn good team.
Ah, right, Dad. I want to know what evenings you're free. I'm seeing Julia tonight and we're fixing up this dinner. Dad?
What? Look, I'm sorry. I'm just boning up on snooker, so I won't look an uncouth sod when you finally get round to fixing up that dinner.
Yeah, that is what I'm asking about. What nights are you free?
Every night. My life is an emotional desert.
Warren, what nights are you free for this dinner with Julia's family?
Well, not Tuesdays or Fridays because I got the plough, and not Wednesdays or Saturdays because I got the swan.
Well, you can give up the pub for one night, you uncivilised little tick.
Yes, don't you care about anything except your beer, you oaf?
Yeah, of course I do.
What? What in the whole world do you really care about?
Jenkins' groin. Oh. The only player with real pace, and he's lost those vital first 3 yards at turn defenders. Will he ever be the same man again?
Ah, girls, what nights are you free for this dinner?
Well, it's difficult. I mean, I never know what Justin's planning.
Well, what Justin plans, we do. I can do any night. Brian will realise the importance. Except the 7th or the 11th or the 14th or the 16th or the 19th or the 21st.
Or the 22nd or the 27th or the 28th. We've got a 24-hour atonement vigil then.
Now, John, which nights can you do for our dinner? Which nights aren't you busy?
Spaghetti bolognese would be nice.
Oh. This just won't do, John. We're talking about a very important night for your mother. Now, for years she's been at the beck and call of you two, and lately she's had me, and although I try not to be a nuisance, I know I irritate her.
Will you stop saying that? You don't.
You see, I irritate her. So now it's our chance to give something back by making it a memorable night for her. So which nights are you free?
Any night except Tuesdays and Saturdays. That's when the 6-6 practice.
Well, thank you, Mother. And you're free any night, are you?
Oh, yes, of course, dear. I've said I don't want to be a nuisance, so I'll fit in with any night you choose.
Good.
Except the week beginning the 14th. Well, we've got snooker every night that week. It's the Dental Floss Invitation Classic.
Thank you for reinstating Sally.
Oh, please. Please, could we talk about something else?
Yes, by all means. Oh, there's Steve and Nicky.
Oh, no.
I suppose it's hardly surprising in a town with only 3 restaurants.
You know, we're going to have to work out a rota system. And if he leaves her alone again tonight, we are not inviting her over here, right?
Right. Oh, my family are longing for this dinner.
Ah.
Amazingly, however, there are only 4 dates they can all manage.
My lot could only manage 3. Oh, what rotten luck.
One of the dates coincides.
How did you guess?
I can read your dark, pessimistic mind.
Would you like anything to drink?
Oh, about time. Whiskey and water, please.
Campari and soda, please.
He's a bundle of fun.
He may have sadness in his life.
Possibly. Then again, he might just be a miserable sod.
Julia told me it was all off with George.
Women never tell the truth.
I do. That's why I bore you.
Nicky, you don't bore me.
Then why are your eyes always flicking round the room?
Because a detective's work is never finished. You never know when you're going to pick up that vital piece of information. I first became suspicious, my lord, when I saw them together in an Italian restaurant. Now, if it was a purely lawyer-client relationship, why did he gently brush her breasts with his breadstick?
Who? Where?
Nowhere. It was a theoretical example, Nicky.
Steve Marygrove. You have an overheated imagination and an icy heart.
No.
Prove it. Kiss me.
Nicky, I'm a public figure. I'm not short of enemies. I have to be very careful how I behave, you know.
Nobody's looking at us. Don't you want to kiss me?
Of course I do. I want to kiss you very much. How could I not? That's Tonka Mallinson over there.
Steve?
Tonka Mallinson lives in an old caravan off the Orchard View Road. He ain't got two pennies to rub together. He's been on social security ever since they sacked him from the abattoir. Look, how can he afford Parma ham and melon and a bottle of... God, 1984 Chianti?
If you dislike your job so much, why don't you try something easier and more pleasant like coal mining?
George?
Sir? Well, you could try a smile. It's just a thought.
Today, I am sad, sir. My girl, she go back to Porto. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful.
Yes, I know. I've been there. Very nice waterfront.
I think he means his girl, George.
Yes, sir. Very beautiful. My heart weeps, sir. And when my heart weeps, I not can smile.
Look, when I was courting my wife, she emigrated to Canada.
I'm not surprised.
14 months without seeing her. Did I collapse in a heap like a jelly that hasn't set properly? I did not. I set in motion a chain of events which led to me becoming the owner of the third biggest biscuit conglomerate in Northern Europe. And how did I manage it? Good old British phlegm, which is a quality not to be sneezed at. How come you've got a Portuguese girlfriend, any road?
I am Portuguese, sir.
Are you deliberately rude to waiters just to annoy me?
It's a con.
What is?
Italian restaurant, Portuguese waiters.
What difference does it make?
Well, you ask them what saltimbocca alla romana is, and they don't know, because they're Portuguese, and they don't have saltimbocca alla romana, they have sardines. Why can't we have English restaurants with English waiters, any road?
Perhaps because the English can't be persuaded to do the work and face the boorish customers.
Steve? Tiny request. Stop giving furtive looks towards your ex-wife.
I'm not. I'm only making it look as if I'm looking at them because I don't want Tonka to know I'm keeping him under surveillance. I must say, they do make a very odd couple, though. No, I mean, you know, Julia volatile, nervy, him strong and calm. Nicky, I can't help noticing about people. It's a hallmark of a good detective, is that?
I applied for a job today as a stripper at the Coco Cabana in Quarry Road.
Good idea.
I have an audition tomorrow. I can't decide what not to wear.
Great. He's having fillet steak. How can Tonka afford fillet steak?
I'd have thought listening might be the hallmark of a good detective, too.
It must have been hard for you with Doris in Canada.
No, I think the distance cemented our relationship. I realized her strength, her warmth, her, well, yes, her saintliness.
Perhaps I should try it.
Oh, Lord. I've done it again, haven't I?
No, I think it's touching you remember her so vividly.
Oh, you couldn't not. She was such a vivid person. So vibrant, so full of energy, so are you, of course.
Are you ready to order, sir? Madam?
Yes.
Hey, that's it. That's better. Julia.
Avocado vinaigrette and the cannelloni, please.
And I'll have the frog's legs to start with.
Oh, no, George, please. Oh, darling, not the frog's legs.
What?
I read an article about the cruelty involved, darling, please.
Oh, well, what will you allow me to eat?
It isn't a question of me allowing you. Have anything you like, except the frog's legs.
Thank you. Well, then I'll start with the spaghetti alla vongole, pausing only briefly as I eat them to pray for the welfare of the world's clams.
And to follow, sir?
Veal escalope valdostana.
Oh, no, George, please. Please, George. Anything but the veal.
Oh, bloody hell. Tells me not to sack my secretary. Tells me to be nice to waiters. Tells me what to order. Tell you what, got a good idea. You order for me. I've got a better idea. It'll all be stuff you like, so you eat it. Better idea still. You eat it. Might cheer you up a bit. No? You could tell Julie all about your girlfriend and her beautiful waterfront. But there's one good thing about it. At least that dreadful family dinner is off.
How extraordinary. Calm, strong George has stormed out on volatile, nervy Julia.
A good detective ignores the unpredictability of human nature at his peril.
We'll have to ask her over.
No.
Fair's fair. She always does me.
No, I don't want to share you tonight.
I know. You want it to be just the three of us.
Hmm?
You and me and Tonka Mallinson. Our turn, I think.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your election victory, incidentally.
Oh, thank you.
Please join us. Steve insists.
What are we going to do about our men, Nicky?
Oh, I'm happy with mine. Things are sorted out very nicely, thank you, Julia.
Oh, good. Well, look, when I bust up with George again, if I ever get back together with him, you'll be able to move in after me and be more successful with him, just like you have been with Steve.
I've got to go, love. Tonka Mallinson orders fillet steak, eats half of it, looks at his watch, pulls out 3 used tenors, leaves it under the pepper and whooshes out. Doesn't hang together, love, I'm sorry.
Oh, why do waiters always have to smile? There's nothing to smile about. Good night.
Morning.
This is my office, isn't it?
Yes, yes, and very nice it is too. I was just admiring it. Compact. I feel lost in mine. Julia, I've come here to apologise. There, I've done it.
Well, thank you very much, George.
My behaviour in the restaurant last night was utterly unforgivable and thoroughly childish.
Well, yes. Anyway, thank you. Is it all right if I sit down?
Oh, please.
So, is this dreadful family dinner on tomorrow or not?
Oh, Lord. I suppose it'll have to be.
Oh, don't be so pessimistic. It'll be fine.
Julia, in the night, I had lots of time to think. To think very seriously. And
Yes, George?
I am too hard on waiters.
Oh.
I admire that Portuguese lad. His strength of feeling, his honesty.
Well, I've had time to think too, and I think I was wrong too.
Good Lord. Oh, sorry.
He'd entered into a contract by turning up to work. It was his duty to be professional. I was being sentimental.
Well, I'm not sure that I agree with that any longer. You see, I think that his honesty was preferable to insincere smiles.
But he had no right to look depressed, George. You were right and I was wrong.
No, I'm sorry, I can't agree. I think you were right and I was wrong. If he felt depressed, there was nothing he could do but look depressed.
But why should he depress us? I think he should have looked neutral, not smiling, not depressed, just polite.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Polite neutrality.
Absolutely. Oh, well, thank goodness for that. We've agreed about the waiter. That only leaves the rest of life. Oh, John, darling, listen, tonight's dinner is very special and very important to me.
You want me to cook dinner?
No. Oh, Lord, this is difficult. Must keep you in a good mood, though. John, will you be on your best behaviour tonight? Because George is very important to me. I feel, deeply stirred.
You want me to smile a lot because you baked a cake?
Smile, yes. Cake, no. No. George and I are, Oh, subtlety's no use with you.
I will pray to God to forgive you for that.
I'm scared, son. I'm out of practice. It's a long time since I had a woman.
Dad, this is a dinner party, not a sex orgy. You're having chicken, not a woman.
I know. What I'm saying is that I'm rusty, social life-wise, vis-a-vis the gentler sex. Do you know how long it is since I had a woman?
No, and I've no wish to.
Well, I'll tell you. 14 years, 7 months, 6 weeks, and 19 and a half hours. It was in Portsmouth. Well, Southsea. In this hotel. Well, guest house. No, B&B.
Yeah, you know, Dad, I don't wish to hear about your sordid dockside pickups. It sullies the good name of my mother.
It was with your mother, you daft gunge box. was always randy the night before we sailed.
Sailed? Where did you ever sail to?
Out of what?
Half an hour with Sea Link. It's hardly the stuff that amorous dreams are made of.
Well, it's still water under your feet, isn't it? It's still the deck lurching to the slow melody of the waves.
Hey, that's better. I like the poetry better than the sex.
Oh, we're too embarrassed to have sex on the island. The caravan squeaked. And then, of course, on the way back, your mother was taken ill.
Yes, I know.
Oh, Amy, love. I've been true to your memory for 14 years. Now I'm going to have a crack at another bit of happiness before it's too late. You don't mind, love, do you? Amy? Amy? I've built up this woman far too much in my mind, George. I hope I'm not going to be let down.
Oh, Karen. We're going in 5 minutes.
So, I'm ready.
Ah.
What do you mean, ah?
Well, he expected you to try and look nice. He's naive.
I want them to see me as I am.
They will. Oh, Tracy, you look lovely.
Oh, we're going in 5 minutes, Karen. Why hadn't you better start getting... Oh, heck, are you going in that? Oh, I am sorry. I didn't realise.
Oh, yes, you did.
Well, I'd have gone as I was too, but I want to reflect credit on Dad and Grandpa.
Oh, what a little angel you are. I admire the way you endlessly endure the agony of dressing girls.
All right, all right. Now, where's Warren?
In the pub, probably, getting up Dutch courage before meeting her daughter. He's terrified of girls, and terrified we'll find out he's terrified. He longs for and fears sex. Football is his displacement activity. Next question.
Thank you, Dr. Freud, for that load of old codswallop.
I had a business meeting. Couldn't avoid it. Belt up the lot of you.
How do I look?
Terrific.
Julia, is the point of this dinner to enable me to meet George's father?
No.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
It's to enable George's father to meet you.
Well, that's worse. Oh, this is stupid. Look at the state you're in, and all because of us.
I might be in less of a state if I had some help.
Well, I'd offer, but I don't want to splash this dress. Listen to me. Vanity at my age. How stupid to allow myself to worry about this old man who'll probably be odd anyway. So many are. I ran into this awful old man in the library. He'll probably be like him.
Mum, Dick is George's father. He's not awful and he's not odd.
I don't need a fluttering heart at my age. I've got my Wimbledon, my snooker and my bowls. I can dream about John Parrott, Mother Stephen Hendry, lie awake worrying about Alex Higgins, all at a safe distance. I'm getting on your nerves, aren't I?
No, but do you think I could have other chapters of your riveting autobiography when I'm not cooking dinner for 9?
I knew I was getting on your nerves.
Just tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it, OK?
If I need to tell you, it's quicker to do it myself.
Get out, Mum.
No.
I sense the best way to help you stay out of the way. Thanks.
No, it's all right. There's no panic, really. Oh, my God, they're here. Samantha, please, watch these veg. Greens off in 2 minutes. Keep mashing those potatoes. Don't let them stick, and don't let that soup boil. Oh, God. Sorry.
Oh, these are the twins, Tracy and Karen.
Hello.
What do you do?
Hi.
My son, Warren.
Hi.
And this is my dad, Dick.
Oh, no. Oh, Lord.
My God, Julia, it is that horrible old man.
Not the one you met in the library. Oh, no.
Hellfire. Dad, it isn't funny, Warren.
Not at all funny, you prat.
He's a bit, because Grandpa always says I'm no good with girls. Look at the mess he's in. Oh, my God.
This is my daughter, Samantha.
You!
Oh, hell. Sorry. I didn't know it was you.
Well, that shouldn't make any difference. You should be courteous to all human beings, right? Anyway, I forgive you, and so does God.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. And him.
It was a strong drink speaking, I expect.
I only had 4 pints. Do you think I can't hold me drink? Oh, damn.
Sorry.
Plus the confidence given by being a member of a pack. Well, you're with your colleagues, your peer group, right? Well, that gives false confidence and leads to football hooliganism, etc., right? We had this sermon about it.
Yeah, well, this isn't church. I don't preach at me, right?
Great outfit. Like it.
Oh, thanks.
Yours is nice too.
What, you mean...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean... I mean, yours is very nice, and so are you, but Karen's is more informal. It's just more my scene, that's all.
Oh, very funny, Karen.
Well, it is a bit.
And I love being made a fool of.
Oh, don't be stupid.
It's just a philosophy thing, that's all. I mean, in Karen, I see a soulmate. Like, we're both rebels. We break the rules. We don't care what people think of us. It's nothing to do with how you look. I mean, you look fantastic. I'm sure you'd be irresistible to any man if that's what he was into.
I'm really very sorry, Mrs. Trellis. I just got irritated seeing you plonk there reading. I shouldn't have said what I said.
I was plonked there, as you so flatteringly put it, because you were peeping round me, invading my space, trying to make me move without saying anything.
I was trying to get at the books.
Those two little words, excuse me, would have worked wonders.
Oh, don't start that again, you.
Arrogant old bat is what you're seeking, I think.
Here. Quarrelsome lot, aren't they?
Where do they get it from?
Must make allowances for the kids, I suppose. Not properly mature yet.
I wonder if the old ones are beginning to slide into a second childhood.
Why can't they all be mature and agreeable, like us?
Absolutely. Yet, you know, it's odd. Been so worried about all this, and it's got off to the most terrible start, and I find I don't mind all that much. I wonder why.
I don't mind either. And I know why.
Have a go at me.
Yes, George.
I love you.
Me too. You, I mean.
Do you think we could find the time
or the inclination to be two?
Do you think we could find a place
Without a confrontation,
can't be true?
Rich tea and sympathy untie the bonds of family.
Oh, it should be you and me,
But circumstance
means music and no dance.
Do you think we could make a date?
Without our tempers flaring,
Not a chance. Do you think we could sit and talk?
without them interfering.
No romance. Rich tea and sympathy